now what I do is I'll get up and I take that mindful moment sitting up on the bed. And even if it has to be half a second because I'm running late for some reason, but to I identify a gratitude from the day before. What went well? What was something that was good? Because even if the rest of the day is awful, I still have got that one thing that I can hang on to. That was great.
Let's learn how our next guest gets up, dress up, and show up on purpose. Enjoy the episode. Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Ludwig Lewis, and today I have the honor of introducing a very special guest to the show, Kerri Garbus. She is the founder and CEO of Ovation. Kerri has trained hundreds of business professionals internationally. Her enthusiasm, humor, and energy inspires multiple repeat client engagement. She is a professional speechwriter and an emotional intelligence expert. We love emotional intelligence, and we will dive into this a little more today. And Kerri is an author. Her first book, Presentation Skills for Managers, is now out. And so we will talk about her book as well. So no further ado, Kerri, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hi, welcome. Such an honor to have you here. Go ahead and tell us a little bit more about your journey here so far.
My journey is long, as you can see from the wrinkles in my face.
Oh, come on.
I think the quick story is, so I've been an actress since I was a kid. And that is very much how I identify. People still, even though I've had this business for 10 years, people still, you meet people here and there and they'll be like, oh, so what do you do? And the first thing out of my mouth is, well, I'm an actor. It is just, that is my soul. That is how I identify. And I had been working, touring. I was in New York and I was helping at this time a bunch of non-actor friends with stuff like presentations and their presence, helping them get jobs or promotions. And I realized at that time of coaching just friends that I found that actors have important things to share with business professionals. Mm-hmm. And that is really, and it's funny because my why for what I do, for my why for the business is the same for my why as being an actor. So I'm an actor. I said it 700 times already. I tell stories. I give people a few minutes, ideally, to feel something else, to be somewhere else, to get immersed in someone else's life, to laugh, to cry, whatever it is. And I help business professionals feel something else when they're telling stories, when they're leading, when they're presenting.
So essentially just how to show up, right? Effectively. Yes. Okay. So that's unique. That's unique in its way, in its own self. So your presentation skills, showing up and being a better storyteller.
Yes. And being present when you communicate, being authentic, and being who you are in your communication. Everyone can be refined and be, I always say, a little shinier version of themselves and still stay authentic to who we are and our ethics, our core beliefs, and share stories in that way.
Yeah, being more present. What are some tips to help the managers that, let's talk about your book more. Some tips that you can share to help them be more present so that they can convey the message easier, so that they can get buy-in, because that's important in that space.
Yes, for sure. That in getting people to buy-in, to get behind them So the book really talks about how to rehearse, how to organize content, which essentially is your thoughts and your ideas, and then how to manage emotions like stage fright, nerves. A lot of people get very anxious when delivering difficult news, or even some people get really anxious just saying anything. Mm-hmm. So we talk about that a lot I talk about that a lot in the book. It's just me. There's no we. I mean, it's a collaborative. You know what? I'm so used to saying on the business side of things, so often I'll say, well, we do this and we do this because I have a team. Mm-hmm. So I forget sometimes that I actually do my own thing sometimes too.
You are the team.
Sometimes I forget. Sometimes it's just me, but I've got a nice team behind me too. Yes. So we talk a lot about, and a lot of it really comes down to preparation and rehearsal.
Yeah.
And doing it in a smart way.
And that helps be with the presence and having a presence too. It's not just being present, but actually showing up, and people can kind of feel your aura, feel your confidence. So like that we can say non-verbal cues, right? Those things. How important are those in the process of showing up and being present?
Yes, so much more important, because the way the human brain works, the way that we take in information, the first piece that we take in before you heard my voice, before you listened to the words that I'm saying, you took in because we're on camera together and we can see each other.
Yeah.
You took in the visual. How do I look? Am I making eye contact? Am I smiling?
Yeah.
And that's part of showing up. That's part of your aura, your vibe. Are we going to connect in this short amount of time? And the visual component of that, and making sure that what you're doing with your body and your face is matching the message that's coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, mirroring, right? That matching.
Yes.
That is definitely important. Actually, not for, because our brain resonate with our brain that it's familiar. We love familiarity, and the minute that we can pick it out or identify it, it makes us more at ease.
Yes. Mirroring is such a powerful thing, and really, I think, an art in itself, because I want to feel comfortable with you, and we're sitting here talking, and maybe I'll try to mirror the position that you're in. You're on a swivel chair. I'm on a swivel chair, except mine makes noise, so it's going to get really loud. Well, maybe I'll try to do something like that to mirror what you're doing, and that will make you more comfortable with me. It's an art, though, because what I don't want to do is make it so far that it's not authentic, and then I'm mocking you. Mm-hmm. And that is going to have a horrible effect on building a relationship or connecting with someone. And so in terms of mirroring, I like to think about it as really simple. You're smiling, I'm smiling. Your curly hair is killing it. So is mine. Yes. I don't think that has nothing to do with mirroring. We're both really lucky in that department. Okay.
We like big hair.
We like lots of curly hair.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That is well put. The power of mirroring, and it's really as simple as you say, but it does something so much more. It's so impactful, the way that it transcends, the way that it actually opens up a connection, and it also can tap into emotional intelligence, right? How well are you doing it? Which is what you just tapped into a little bit. When is it not mockery? When is it? When it's just enough? So let's talk a little bit about emotional intelligence.
Oh, I love to talk about emotional intelligence.
My dissertation was almost on emotional intelligence.
Oh, was it
narcissism? Really? Yeah, narcissism and emotional intelligence.
That's fantastic. That's hefty. There's a lot to dig in there.
Yeah.
I think the beautiful thing about emotional intelligence is that it is so easy to move the needle. It's so easy to get more self-aware or more socially aware, whatever part of it that you want to concentrate on. And it really does ebb and flow with how how present and mindful am I in this moment? And maybe I'll be a little more emotional intelligent, where I can put a little more energy towards being aware of what's going on. And it is so prevalent in our lives, and in relationships, in work, in making yourself an easier human to communicate to work with. And I will geek out on it all day long.
Yeah, with the EQ, it's different. It's a different way of measuring it. And a lot of people, they'll say, I know how to regulate my emotions, and yet they don't know how to give it back. Give us the definition of how emotional intelligence work. Regulate your own emotions, but also how you perceive other people's emotions as well.
Yes. So I define it typically as the ability to perceive, understand, and reason with, understand, reason with, and manage your own emotions as well as the emotions of others. So perceive, understand, reason with, and manage your emotions as well as the emotions of others.
Well put.
Oh, thank you. Which doesn't mean managing is very different than controlling. Because sometimes I'll tell people that and they'll be like, oh, are you going to control my emotions? Well, no, I really wish I could. I can't. I cannot control anybody's emotions, sadly. But understanding how you may be reacting or prepared for that reaction, and that for me goes back to preparation and rehearsal. Because if I'm speaking with you on any topic, if I'm prepared and present in that moment, I am able to respond to what you're giving me. Because the message is in my muscle memory, I have enough wherewithal to be able to hone in on how are you reacting?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What am I seeing? What am I hearing from you? And then responding in kind to that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's interesting that we have to learn that, especially in the workplace, how to respond in kind to other people's emotions. Because I think a while ago, 2 decades ago, we realized that people who are in businesses we were working with, they're emotional beings. And so that's where the EQ came in. It's not just knowing your skills and meeting your quota. It's like, how do you manage each other in the workplace? Because you're going to come in with a lot of stuff, right? Whatever's going on at home, you bring that all into the office. And how do you put that aside? You can't, so that you perform. Right. It's intertwined. It's you. It's who you are. And I'm very happy to hear that corporations are having emotional intelligence conferences and trainings to enforce it.
Absolutely. I know that people I've had my company for 10 years. I know people have taken this seriously. And now more than ever, that I'm excited to see that so many people are taking the holistic health, mental health, mindfulness all into account for success of the human, for success of the company, especially because of what's happened the past couple of years.
Yeah, the whole being, taking in respect of the whole being, the people that bring their full self. Because if you want them to perform at their optimum, you got to allow them to bring their full self to the office.
Yes.
And be respectful of that. So you have you're certified, you have all the credibility. Do you teach this to corporates and small business owners as well?
Yes, absolutely. We have emotional intelligence training, and really that self-awareness is really the cornerstone of everything that we teach. So I present it as we've got professional presence and speaker development, and it all starts with self-awareness. And we do a nice amount of emotional intelligence training as well.
Yeah, speaking of self-awareness, about being diligent and mindful about what you do in the first, 20 minutes to an hour in the morning. That self-awareness, you got to tap into that. And that's what I want to get into right now. Let's tell us, how do you get up, dress up, and show up? Let's talk about your morning routine, Kerri.
All right. Well, I'm excited. That's why I'm here, right? I'm excited. Okay. So I've tried a number of things to see how does it feel? What gets me the best results? And best results for me means getting in a positive mindset for a productive day. And that could be a Saturday when I'm hanging out with my daughter, or a work day when I'm running this company, or I've got auditions, or whatever I have to do in that day. And I remember I in college, my freshman year of acting school, one of the things one of our acting teachers said was, wake up in the morning, sit on the edge of your bed and see where you are. Just check in with yourself. And I remember my freshman year getting up, and my roommate, who was not a theater major, I don't remember what she was, but it was nothing close to theater. And I got up and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, very open and grounded. And she was like, what are you doing? Are you okay? I'm like, so I'm checking in. But at the time, I didn't have the words to say, I'm having a mindful moment, or I'm reciting a mantra that just wasn't in our vocabulary then. So now what I do is I'll get up and I take that mindful moment sitting up on the bed. And even if it has to be half a second because I'm running late for some reason, but to identify a gratitude from the day before. What went well? What was something that was good? Because even if the rest of the day is awful, I still have got that one thing that I can hang on to. That was great.
Right.
So I start with that, and then go into a hot beverage of some sort, tea or coffee. And then I have to do something physical, exercise, walk, whatever it is.
Get moving. Gotta move the body after laying down for 6 to 8 hours. Gotta get some mobility in your joints. Movement is lotion for the joints, I think one of my pastors said.
Oh, I love that. Movement is lotion for the joints. Yes, it is.
So gratitude. I'm hearing gratitude in your morning routine practice. Being grateful for things that happened yesterday, so just to kind of anchor you, right? So you can find more things to be grateful for throughout the day, because once the day gets running, it can get away with us very fast if we don't ground ourselves within the first few minutes. So I like your practice. What other things do you do? Meditation, writing, anything else that comes up for you?
I do. I have a daily journal practice. So this year I started a book that takes me through, there's one question a day, and it's a little reflection. So it's not an arduous amount of writing, and I'm handwriting, and it just asks, it's a reflective question. Think about something pretty simple, but it's a nice centered moment. So I will do that as well. And understand, I try different things every year. This is what I'm doing in this year. I've had years in the past where I've done, I had 2 years in a row that every single day, I used to have a whiteboard behind me. I would write down one good thing that happened that day. And every week I took a picture of it. And so at the end of the year, I had 52 pictures of chock full of good things that happened.
I like that. Way to bask in that, right? The gratitude, all the goods. Because what you focus on grows, right? Where energy goes, where energy flows, it grows. So it's nice to kind of focus on the things that are working, or the things that have happened that you're grateful for, because it's evidence that things are going to work out. Things are going to work out. So that's fantastic. I'm curious now, what are some things that you've been in terms of acting that,
lots of theater stuff and a lot of musical theater. So I haven't been live on stage since COVID, unfortunately. Prior to that, I did one thing I'm really proud of. I did a one-woman show. It was a one-woman play. I did not write it. I was cast in it, called I Love, I Lost, I Made Spaghetti. And I did a production in Boston. I did a production in Colorado. And it is a full 2-act play of just one actor. That was me cooking a 4-course meal live on stage. And there 8 people, 4 couples, pay extra to sit up on the stage and get fed the food that I'm making during the play. So technically I'm a professional chef too.
You are kidding. That you are full of range. Oh, 2 hours. That's
and that
impressive.
was really fun.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's impressive. I was in Boston. I was like, man, I missed that one. Are you gonna come to San Diego?
I would love to come to San Diego. I will let you know. I don't know what's on the, I struggle with the balance, but as I said, I identify as an actor. I am also a business owner. I have a team of 20. And so I definitely struggle if the business gets really busy or we're struggling, that I have to put my concentration there. And yet there is a yearning, there's a hole that wants to get back on stage and be an actor as well, which will come again at some point.
It's your purpose.
Yes.
If it's your purpose, it will be lived. That's awesome.
That.
Kerri, it's been such a joy. Tell us, how can we connect with you? Where can we find you?
Please connect with me. Come find me. I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook. Those are my 2 platforms of choice. You can also head over to getovation.com, which is my company's website. You can learn all about professional presence and speaker development. You can check out all the things we have going on, especially our nonprofit that we just started in the last year as well, which is it's called Be Ready. And it's offering our professional presence training to Black youth at no charge.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kerri, and she talks about being present, be here now, and she's doing some fantastic work. You can connect with her definitely. It's been a delight, such a joy having you on here, Kerri. Thank you for your presence today.
You are welcome. Thank you for your time and your energy and your joy. I felt it all the way in Boston.
Awesome.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please comment and tell us what was your favorite part, your favorite habit that you are going to try out for yourself today. Comment below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, I will see you at the top of your best morning routine ever. Stay blessed.